Hello, in this video I will show you how to create JFrame object and specify different layouts for JFrame container. The layout manager specifies how elements are to be arranged in the container. Different layout managers are border layout, flow layout, card layout, etc. So now let's start coding. Import java asterisk. We have to import java.awt for this layout. Class frame underscore demo extends JFrame. One method to create JFrame is by extending the JFrame class. Here our frame demo class is extending JFrame, so the frame demo class itself will become a frame. So all the properties of frame will be available to this class frame demo. Within this frame, let's define another frame object f. Let's define some buttons here, some controls, bt1, bt2 and bt3. Let's define bt4, bt5. Now let's define constructor method. Within the constructors, let's initialize this frame f using new operator. Now here f is the object of JFrame. F.set size. This method will specify size of frame f. F.set title frame object. F.set visible true. F.set default close operation JFrame dot exit on close. Now here we are specifying different properties of this frame object f. We are explicitly using this frame object to call these methods. We can call these methods here also. Set size. Okay, let's be 500 by 400. Set visible true, then set title frame class, set default operation JFrame dot exit on close. Now here the set site set visible has been called without any object. That is the part of frame demo class. Because this frame demo is extending JFrame, so it is having all the features of JFrame class. Now let's write the main method. Public static void main string utilities dot invoke later new runnable interface public void run. We are creating a separate thread to run our frame demo class. New frame demo. Now if this executes successfully, then we will see two different frames. One frame titled frame object, another frame titled frame class. Now let's execute this code. Java frame, okay, frame demo.java frame underscore demo. Now you can see two different objects been created. Here this object, frame object, explicitly we have used new operator to create this frame object, but this is another. This is created by inheriting frame class. So in this way we can create frame either by extending JFrame class or creating object of JFrame. Now let's close this. Now let's specify the layout for this frame object. Set layout is the method. Now first let's make it flow layout. Okay. Now flow layout arranges element from left to right, top to bottom. Like we write in paper, English is written from left to right and top to bottom. In the similar way, flow layout will be arranging elements like that in the container. Now we will be adding, first we have to create those buttons. bt1 equal to new j button 1. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. Now we have 5 buttons. Let's change the text here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's add these buttons to F object. Add bt1. Two, 3, 4, 5. Now let's save this. Okay, everything seems fine. Now let's execute this and see how this output will come. Okay, now we can see the elements are arranged from left to right, top to bottom. If I change the size of this frame, let's see what will happen. Okay, left to right. If I decrease the width, top to bottom. So in this way we can arrange the elements using the flow layout in the container. Now let's change this layout and take the default layout of frame. By default layout of frame is border layout. In case of this border layout, elements are organized in 5 different positions of the frame. Actually, this border layout divides the container into 5 different parts: north, south, east, west, and center. And when we add the elements in this border layout, we have to specify the position for those elements. So now let's specify a position here. Border view layout dot north. Then here border layout dot south. Here comma center. These values will have to be written in capital letter: north, south, east, west. East, and let's make this in the west, comma okay. In this way we have to specify the position of these elements in the add method. So the frame object, in the frame object we have taken the default layout, that is the border layout. We do not have to call the set layout method to specify border layout for this frame because it is the default layout. Now let's see the output. Compile this. Okay, now you can see, okay, this is the frame object. We have added those 5 buttons here. Now they are appearing like this: north, south, east, west, and center. In this way, border layout divides the container into 5 different parts. And while adding elements to the border layout, we have to specify position for those elements. Okay, let's close this. Now let's specify this layout as a grid. To change the layout, we have to explicitly call this method set layout new grid layout. Grid layout creates grid like a table. It has rows and columns. So I will be specifying 3 rows and 2 columns. Grid layout having 3 rows and 2 columns, and we don't have to specify positions like this. We have to remove this border layout south, these values. Just add will work. Add will decide how to add the elements on the container. Okay, now we'll save this. Now we'll re-execute this and okay, fine. Now we can see this container has been created like a grid by the grid layout. It is having three rows and 2 columns. You can see in the code here, set layout, new grid layout, number of rows equal to 3 and number of columns is 2. So in this way we can specify the layout of frame. Okay, thank you for watching this.